Jai Shri Ram and Ashok Garu. I just renamed your screen name so that everybody knows.
Yeah, sure. I have forwarded to. You can see some of my friends are already there enjoying.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Jai Shri Ram. And Jai Shri Ram to everybody. We'll be starting the call in another 5 minutes. So I request everybody of you to be attentive and be with video on so that we can all capture what Ashwath Garu is going to talk today. Jai Shri Ram, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi Garu, మీరు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి. Ashwath Garu, Guru Garu is in Hanuman Puja today, Andy.
Sure.
So he is unable to attend the call, but he is going to watch the live. This is already live on YouTube, so we can have. This is also recorded, so we can view this.
Sure. And later on, if you can send me the link to the YouTube also.
Yes, we'll be posting it on the website.
Okay.
So as soon as you open our website, you'll be able to see this Kalpavruksham event.
Sure.
After this event, we will update it, Andy.
Wonderful.
Yeah, a few more participants are joining. And you would want me to share your presentation, or are you okay?
Yeah.
Adding it, Andy.
Sure. Yeah, you can share.
Okay. Jai Shri Ram to everybody. We'll be starting the call in the next 2 minutes only. Request all of you to come on video. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram Andi Vidya Garu. Yeah, we have few more joining in. I'm adding them all. Jai Shri Ram Andi Garu.
జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి, అందరికి జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి.
Jai Shri Ram Andi.
Jai Shri Ram Andi. Yeah, there are few people joining, and let's give another minute and then let's get started.
Has the temple construction started?
Not yet, and we'll be starting. Yeah.
So most of the pujas are happening at home.
At ashramam and Guru Gari ashramam. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. Rao Guru. Can we start the Kalpavruksham event with the opening prayer, Sunday? So as mentioned, Guru Garu is occupied with the Hanuman Puja today. So Rao Garu will be helping us with the opening prayer Sunday.
తప్పకుండానండి. అందరికీ జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి. With the blessings from our Guru Garu, I am taking today to do the opening prayers. Srimate Ramanuja Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nataya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. Swapna garu.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm not beating. Yeah, Jai Shri Ram to everybody Andi with namaskarams to Guru Garu, and with the blessings of our respected Guru Garu, and on behalf of all our Seva group, hearty welcome to all the 16 participants who are here on the call today. And there are few participants who are watching this event on our website. It's being telecasted, and we are really happy to meet you all today. And this is also being recorded for future references, and it will be stored in the website after this event ending. And today, as we all know, this is very auspicious day, and because we have the auspicious presence of Sri Ashwath Garu, he is joining us from Columbus, Ohio.
Actually, Orlando, Florida.
Okay, because Orlando.
At the moment, Orlando. Yes.
Okay, sure. So Orlando, Florida. That's in America. So to give a brief about Ashwath Garu, he is a multilingual scholar of Vedic literatures. He is continuing his centuries-old family tradition of pursuit of scholarship in Indian sculptures. And he was also bestowed the title of Samskrita Shri by the World Institute of Vedic Studies. He regularly teaches the Vedas, Shastras, and also Sanskrit. And his grandfather, Sri Asthana Vidvam Subramanya Shastri Garu, he was a highly acclaimed Ramayana scholar who translated the Srimad Ramayanam into Kannada word by word, based on all Sanskrit commentaries. So he also mentioned that there was a new edition that was recently published. And Ashwath Garu is giving monthly lectures on Srimad Ramayana to a group of students. And he had been, before moving into USA in 1990, Ashwath Garu has done Ramayana Parayanam every year. So today, Ashwath Garu is with us to give us the details of the roles of how Mantara, Kaikeyi, and Surpanaka in Ramayana had turned the stories and what we can learn from them. So also, if kids are present on this call, we request all of you to come on the video, because you have to be video on in order to participate for the essay competition. Because during this program, that's when the coordinator will be asking for your contact names and details, so that if you're on video on, you'll be eligible to write the essay about what Ashwath Garu will be talking about. So I humbly request all of the participants to be active, attentive by coming on video on and listen to Ashwath Garu's topic today. So Ashwath Garu, we request you to give us the blessed topic details. And once again, hearty welcome, Andy. Please.
Thank you.
Please go ahead. And yeah.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vagishadhyas sumanasah sarvarthanam upakrame yam natva kritakrityasyuhu tam namami gajananam Kujantam Rama Rameti Madharam Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Manojabam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai cha Tasyai Janakatmajayai Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo Namostu Chandrarkamarudganebhya Om Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. My very sincere thanks to Bhadradri Shri Rama Temple for kindly inviting me to speak today on the subject of Yadricha, that is fortuitous events that happen in the in Srimad Ramayana. And then I'm also very, very grateful to Swapna Garu for letting me participate today, and also please give me one moment, and also for all her support in making today's presentation successful. Thank you Swapna Garu, especially to you, and thanks to the temple. If a person, an individual, or a nation has to be secure, has to be peaceful, the fortification has to take place at individual level and at society and at the national level. There must be internal fortification and there must be an external fortification. So the internal fortification means our mind must be very calm, and we must take every care to make sure that we remain healthy at individual level. And externally, we should have good friends, good satsanga, being in the company of loving family and friends. As far as a nation is concerned, externally, we must have a very good defense system, extraordinarily good and loyal ministers, and internally, there should be no palace intrigues. If you look at the human history, a lot of kingdoms have perished because of palace intrigues, and much more than external challenges. So for Dasharatha's Ayodhya and the Kosala Desha, it was externally impregnable. In fact, even such a powerful Rakshasa such as Ravana, there were two countries which he could not take on. One is the Videha, that was ruled by Janaka, and another is Kosala, ruled by Dasharatha. But the story is a little different when it comes to the palace. So in this context, we have got to understand two terms. One is the Sanskrit terms called Rajakiya. There is Rajakiya and there is Rajakarana. So two things are there. So both of them are related, but what is the quality of, what is the meaning of these terms? Rajakiya is politics. It can be destructive, whereas Rajakarana is very desirable because in Rajakarana, there is statesmanship. So what sets apart Rajakiya and Rajakarana is one is detrimental to the body politic, and another it is regarding statesmanship. So let us now look at the decision making on the part of Dasharatha, which was a Rajakarana decision. It has nothing to do with the the household of the king. So Rama Pattabhisheka takes place, and even though Dasharatha is extremely attached to Kaikeyi, and then Dasharatha chooses not to share the Pattabhisheka information with his wives. So no word is sent even to Kaikeyi, who is the most beloved queen of Dasharatha. So you can see the application of the Rajakarana, which is statesmanship. In statesmanship, who should be involved? It is the ministers, it is the citizenry, and we also have to have the Raja Guru Purohita Vasishta Maharshi, and those people were there in the decision making. But then look at the Yadracha, which is the subject here. Yadracha is fortuitous events. The biggest turns have happened in fortuitously by Yadracha. We can call it as accidental, we can call it as for no unknown reason. Please take a moment to look back into your own lives. Some events, for example, you have seen that girl or that boy, accidentally you see, but then some attraction takes place, and with that attraction you come together, you get married, you live together for several decades, and then that fortuitous moment will have an impact and an influence on the rest of your life. So the subject of Yadracha I recommended is so that we become alert to events which don't seem to have any logic. And then those things we should not ignore. We should actually contemplate on why did this particular thing happen? What is the design of the creation in bringing this event into my life? So Ramayana actually beautifully illustrates the influence of these Yadracha or fortuitous events. Even in the case of Kaikeyi, of course, Kaikeyi was an extremely beautiful girl, and Dasharatha already had two wives, Kausalya, in whom he had very great respect, but he had respect, but not much love or attraction towards her. And then actually Valmiki Maharshi does not write much about Dasharatha's relationship with Sumitra also. Sumitra has been pictured as one who is pure at heart. She is a very simple person. She never showed any displeasure towards any being, either towards the crown queen Kausalya or towards the beloved queen Kaikeyi, and therefore we really do not know much about Sumitra. We really do not know about her relationship with Dasharatha, and also she has strictly remained independent of the politics of the nation. So was Kaikeyi. If we look at the characteristic of Kaikeyi, she was least interested in politics. In fact, she was so completely self-absorbed that she was only interested in having the attention of her husband. And then it was fine with her even if when her own biological son was sent far away. And she found satisfaction in her great love for Rama. So this is the background. And even Kaikeyi's influence on Dasharatha were also Yadracha. It was fortuitous that in the war with the devas, with the Rakshasas, then fortuitously his Ratha gets stuck in the mire, and Kaikeyi helps in saving Dasharatha's life, and he is ever grateful. So one important point that we have to note in our life is when we make any promise to anyone, that promise has to be discharged right away. So Kaikeyi is offered two boons by Dasharatha. And Kaikeyi says, I will take it later on. So here, for us, the instruction from Ramayana is, if you want to reward somebody, and reward that right away and close the chapter. Otherwise, suppose we say, I will give you anything you ask at any time in future, is a very dangerous promise. So this is where we have to be cautious about promising anything. And that promise has to be made and it has to be discharged in time. That is something we learn. So coming back, Valmiki does not elaborate on the interpersonal relationships between Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. So the main reason is, first of all, it may not be relevant to Ramakatha. And secondly, Valmiki is not a Kavi who would indulge in gossip. And thirdly, Sri Ramachandra would not be interested in such comments on the interpersonal relationships. So moving forward, now what has happened is the Pattabhisheka decision has been taken, but it is not conveyed to Kaikeyi. So when it is now a fortuitous event takes place. Kaikeyi, right from her birth, she was taken care of by Manthara. So there is again a background for that. This also is a Yadricha background. Ashwapati was the father of Kaikeyi. And Ashwapati, the king of Kekaya Desha, had a gift. And the gift was that he could actually understand the language of birds and animals. One day, when Kaikeyi's mother, we don't have her name mentioned anywhere. Her mother and Ashwapati were walking in their park. Two birds were conversing, and Ashwapati could understand their conversation. So Ashwapati burst out laughing. There was a curse on Ashwapati that he should not divulge the conversations between animals to anybody, and if he does, he dies. Ashwapati's wife, Kaikeyi's mother, insists on knowing why the king is laughing. And Ashwapati says, if I tell you why, then I will die. Then she says, I don't care if you die, I want to know. So you can see the genetic mapping even on Kaikeyi. If it came to that, she was ready to sacrifice her own husband Dasharatha, but that changes later. That attitude changes later, but by that time it was too late. So the Pattabhisheka is announced. Yadrachaya. See, here we have a character, this Manthara. This Manthara is called as Jnati Dasi. In fact, you can see I have put up that particular verse. Jnati Dasi Yato Jata. She is Jnati Dasi. What is the meaning of Jnati? Jnati is also translated as a Dayadi in in Dharma Shastras, Daya means one who shares a property. So that is why we call siblings, uncles, etc. as Dayadis, because they have a share in the family property. So this Jnati Dasi, she comes as a property of Kaikeyi, but there was an extremely loving attachment between the two. Kaikeyi never had the pleasure of mother's love, because after Kaikeyi was born, her mother was abandoned, was thrown out of the nation by her father. So it was Manthara who brought up. So from where did Manthara come? Yato Jata, that is of unknown origin. So we even don't know the background. So here an important point to note: suppose you want to take the counsel of somebody, you go to your physician, you go to your lawyer. How do you do that? The only way you have to do is you have to check the background. You have to know that what kind of a person that you are having the relationship with. So none of those vetting process has taken place. It just happens that Manthara was in one of the servants in the palace, and she becomes the protector and the mother, surrogate mother for Kaikeyi. Of course, Mahabharata has the background of Manthara. She was actually a Devastri, an Apsara. Her name was Dundubi, and then she was known for creating rift among friends. She would always cause that. So the cosmos, in the act of Rakshasa Samhara, actually makes her incarnate as Manthara. So today, the Pattabhisheka has been announced, and when that announcement comes, this Manthara Yadrichaya, that is fortuitously, she just climbs the prasada. The Sanskrit word prasada means the palace. Now I want you to, when you study Ramayana very carefully, you will see that the palaces were multi-storied buildings. And just like in today's multi-storied buildings, you have a terrace and you create a kind of a penthouse. And it's quite a climb. And obviously in Ramayana time, they didn't have elevators. You have to climb up the steps. And here, if you see the picture, you can see that Manthara is hunchbacked. She's old, she's infirm, and then very difficult for her to walk. So why should she climb up the stairs? It is Yadracha. And when she climbs up the stair, what does she see? She sees the entire city being decorated and everybody decked up. And the way in which the palaces of the queens were laid out, they were all pretty much in one line. So from the top of one terrace of a palace, you could look into the terrace of the neighboring palace of Kausalya or Sumitra. So Manthara looks across and she is a bit surprised that Kausalya and her retinue, who usually wear white clothing, on that day were actually wearing very gorgeous, colorful silks. So this, for Manthara, who is an extremely observant person, she says, what is going on here? And she shouts across to one of the dasis of Kausalya and asks, what is all this excitement about? And immediately she comes to know that Rama Pattabhisheka is going to take place. Immediately, she literally runs down the staircase, maybe 2-3 floors. Amazing energy she gets, which was not natural to her body, and then rushes into Kaikeyi's room where she was lying down, and then she uses such abusive language. I'm sure most of you have read Ramayana. That is, how can a Dasi use such language to a queen, and that to the most favorite queen of Dasharatha? You can imagine the liberty that she took as a mother. Now, what does she incite? She actually incites when her saying that Rama is being coronated. The reaction she got was a gift of a necklace. She had to change her strategy, change her tactics. Here, she now stokes the Savati Matsarya, that is the Matsarya or the envy of a co-wife, because Dasharatha was much married. It's not just that he had only 3 wives, he had more than 300 wives, as a matter of fact. Now here, every grihini, every married woman has to observe some values. I'm drawing this from Abhijnana Shakuntala of Mahakavi Kalidasa. How to make sure that a family unity is preserved. Shushrusha Gurun. A woman should honor elders. Kuru Priyasakhi Vrityam Sapatni Jane. The other wives of her husband should be looked upon as one's own sister. Kuru Sapatni Jane. You can make a little change for modern times. Both husband and wife are working, and so husband and wife must respect each other's profession, because the profession is similar to one's own spouse. Because with our profession, we work for 30, 40 years. So there must be tolerance, mutual tolerance. Kuru Priyasakhi Vrityam. Bhartur Viprakritapi Roshanataya Maspa Pratipangamaha. Suppose one of the spouses get angry and then they shout. There should not be a rage and revenge. Then, Bhuishtam Bhavadakshina Parijane. For those who serve you, you be very generous in giving them the tips. Bhuishtam Bhavadakshina Parijane. Bhagyesh Anutsvekini. When in fortune, do not become arrogant. Yantyevam Grihini Padam Yuvataya. Only when a person conducts in this way, she will be called as a Grihini, Vama Kulasya. Otherwise, they cause the destruction of the family. So please read this from Abhijnana Shakuntala in understanding the personality of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was Bhuishtam Bhavadakshina Parijane. She was very generous in giving gifts to her servants, but she had no tolerance for the other wives of Dasharatha, and Manthara uses that as a leverage. Now, did Manthara actually destroy the nation, or was there a grander purpose? Now, my recommendation, dear friends, is besides carefully studying Valmiki Ramayana, please also study the other Ramayanas, because the great poets bring extraordinary insight into understanding of Ramayana. So I want to give you an example of Bhoja Champu, Ramayana Champu of Bhoja, one of the most beautiful Sanskrit compositions. Whenever you get a chance, please make an effort to study that. There, Manthara's character is an analysis of Manthara's character is given. Yame vahuhu nishichara kulon mulane mulahetuhu. You can see this put up here. Yame vahuhu nishichara kulon mulane mulahetuhu. Yasyaha chittam prakriti kutilam gatramitram babhuva. Ambhojinyaha shishira sarasaha kasari vachamanchaha. Kaikeyaha sa hridayam adayam manthara nirmamantha. I have given translation also underneath. Basically, Manthara actually churned up the calm, peaceful heart of Kaikeyi. As a sidebar, I would like to mention there are two Mantharas mentioned in Ramayana. So we have to be very careful which Manthara we are talking about. We are talking about this Manthara who came as a Jnati Dasi with Kaikeyi from Kekaya Desha, and not another Manthara who was actually killed elsewhere by Indra. Only one shloka is there about the other Manthara. So if you look at a lotus pond, on the lotus pond there are beautiful, beautiful flowers. And the water is also very transparent and very nice. It is very pristine. You can even, definitely you can even drink that water. It will be, because all the sedimentation, everything has gone to the bottom of the lake. So allow a water buffalo to enter into this lotus pond. What does this water buffalo do? It will go and stir up the entire muck and that is there at the bottom of the lake. And Bhoja uses that metaphor and says, this is what she did. Then Kaikeyi asked for the boon. All those stories are known. At this point, what was the benefit of Kaikeyi's asking for this boon? What is the upakara that has happened to the world? In another Ramayana, Rama himself says what happened. Because of Kaikeyi's asking this two boons, and the tragic consequence of my father's death, I came to know Tatasnehaha, how much a father can love his child. What is the ultimate sacrifice a parent does for the comfort of their child? The parent is ready to give up one's own life. So my father has given up his own life for my love. Now I understand the intensity of a parental love. Friends, please note, if somebody asks you how much you love your parents, here is an example where a love of a parent is where the parent is ready to give up one's own life. Then he goes on, Bharata Mahima. Do we really know how much our brothers and sisters love us? Bharata showed us. Paurusham Vayasunoho, of the valor of Hanuman, Sakyam Chapi Plavagapatehe, and the friendship of Sugriva, incredible friendship. Sugriva had no enmity with Ravana, but still he is ready to give up his life. That is how a friend should be. kapi saumitri bhakti. Have you heard of any person who actually leaves his own beloved wife for 14 years and lives like a sannyasi, serving his brother and sister-in-law? And I found that Sita Satyam. I found the Pativritya, the total dedication of the wife Sita, Nija Bhujavalam. I did not know how powerful I am. I came to know Vairinam Vairibhavaha. We say that somebody is an enemy. Do you know the intensity of the enemy of that person? I came to know how intense enmity can be. All of these happened. Sarvam jnatam tava charanayoho matade tvat prasadat. Oh, Mother Kaikeyi, tvat prasadat. Because of you are asking the boon. Sarvam jnatam. All of these extraordinary values are learned. So for the sake of these great values, the sacrifice of Dasharatha has become actually valid because Rakshason Mulana has taken place. And after all, the old should yield to the new. So this is the contribution of mantra. This is a contribution of Kaikeyi. So we have to see that in the broader light of the consequences. So now we fast forward to another providential entry. And this providential entry just one moment, please. "13 years and 2 months have elapsed in the dwelling of the forest in the Vanavasa of Rama Lakshmana Sita. Some events have taken place. A little bit of drama has taken place. For example, they moved from place to place. They had to leave Chitrakuta for reasons well known. And then they come and visit Bharadwaja Ashrama. They come and visit Agastya Ashrama. Very peaceful. In fact, it was a long honeymoon for Rama and Sita. Nothing eventful has happened. All the drama of Ayodhya Kanda is over. Between the drama of Ayodhya Kanda and the drama of Aranya Kanda, 13 years of peace and tranquility is there for Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, even though they had to live in the forest. And what is forest? And what is palace? This already Kausalya had instructed Rama. Ayodhyam atavim vidhi, mam vidhi Sumitra had given instruction to Lakshmana. Ayodhyam atavim vidhi, mam vidhi Janakatmajam. Lakshmana, take care of Rama, and think that the forest is Ayodhya, think that Sita is me, and so on. So really there is no drama for 13 years and 2 months. Everything else happens within 10 months. So one day, they are all sitting in their Parnashala. In fact, if any of you have visited Panchavati in Maharashtra, not too far from Nasik, on the banks of the Godavari, you can see a beautiful location. The Panchavata is there, the 5 Vatavrakshas are there, the river is flowing, and there is a temple. That's a very interestingly built temple. Rama and Sita temple is behind Lakshmana's temple. So that suggesting that Lakshmana built his hut in front of Rama Sita's hut so that he can be protecting the Sita and Rama throughout in a very alert manner. At that point of time, Rama and Sita are sitting, and Rama is actually doing quite a bit of narration, and the narration of many anecdotes in their life. Probably he was talking about the past and very several occasions of yadracha that was happening. The yadracha of Vishwamitra suddenly coming. I mean, Vishwamitra was not invited. He came on his own. It was again a fortuitous entry. I would like to share with you a personal anecdote here, how some fortuitous events can cast an enormous influence on your future life. That is why I chose this. And I chose the two most dramatic events. One is Manthara's entry and Shurpanaka's entry. I never thought, I never planned to teach Veda or Vedanta to anybody. There was never any intention to do that. So there was a yadracha. The yadracha was, I was commuting from Bangalore, my hometown, to another nearby town on work. I had to commute every day for a year. And we were traveling on train, and that train actually has to pass and then under a bridge, and there is an overpass where all the automobiles go. And one day, a truck fell over from that bridge onto the railway track. So our train was not allowed to go. It was a Monday, a Pradosha day, and in the Bangalore railway station, there is a small Shiva shrine. In that shrine, a priest was doing Abhisheka, and having reached the railway station, I stood there and started chanting the Rudra mantras. And immediately the priest came out and then said, "Sir, I never learned Rudra formally. I see you come here. Can you please teach me how to chant the Rudra?" Yadracha. What is the relationship between my teaching Veda and the truck falling on the railway track? And from then on started my journey of teaching the Veda. To that gentleman, I started teaching. Then in the railway train every day, in the commute, we had 30, 40 students learning. And so far, I have been teaching Veda since 1975. That means for 47 years by one yadracha incident. One yadracha incident of Indra coming in the disguise of Gautama, Ahalyodhara took place, and we came to understand how to forgive. Even what we feel is unforgivable act. So we have, in Panchavati, Rama and Sita are sitting and conversing. Tam desham rakshasi kachit ajagama yadrachaya. On the face of it, the role play of Manthara and Kaikeyi or Shurpanaki generates disgust in us. But remember, without them, there would have been no Rakshasa Samhara, there would have been no Rushi Paripalana, there would have been no Dharma Samrakshana, and there would have been no understanding of Hanumanta, Vibhishana, and all of these. None of these would have happened. As I said, Tata Sneha, etc. Shurpanaki's entrance sings the Nandi, the Mangala Shloka for the entire Rakshasa Samhara. He provides a validity for Rama's going to the forest. And the statesmanship did not limit to a small kingdom called Kosala. It's a very small kingdom. It is not as big as the Akhanda Bharata on which Ramayana has an influence. That influence was caused first by Manthara and second by Shurpanakhi. Because what she did, Maricha Maya Hananam, there was the destruction of Maricha and the entire Janasthana, all the 14,000 did. Shabari Guru Bhakti Cha. Would we ever have known what is the love of a devotee? We would never have known, because Rama, Lakshmana, Sita would have happily stayed in Panchavati for the next 10 months and would have returned to Ayodhya if it was not for Shurpanakhi. Hanumat Premalabhascha Sugriv Alanganam Tatha Akshobhya Bandhanam Chaiva Shatru Sodara Sauhrudam Samharo Rakshasendrasya Lanka Durga Vinashanam Bhagini Daityarajasya Bhagini, of the demon king's sister, Praveshat, by means of her entry. So as I am running out of time, but then let me do a quick comparison of the characteristics and the critical roles of Shurpanakha and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is very beautiful. Shurpanakha is extremely ugly. Kaikeyi, I think I'm losing connection here.
No. Ashit Garu, I was just taking off the screen share because you
okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. So Kaikeyi is very beautiful. In contrast, Shurpanakha is very, very ugly. And both of them do ugly acts. So external appearance is not an indication of the internal character. Kaikeyi does not know politics, whereas Shurpanakha, astute politician. And the study of the politics of Kaikeyi is for some other day. Then Kaikeyi is very arrogant, but a great pativrata. She was very dedicated, devoted to her husband. Whereas Shurpanakha is a Swechachari. The very reason why you find Shurpanakha in Dandakaranya is she compels Ravana to make her the super governess of all the Rakshasas in Janasthana. She was the boss of even Karadushana, Trishira and the 14,000. And do you know what she was doing? She was actually having an affair with a different man every day. When Ravana kills her husband, she didn't care. That's the characteristic of Shurpanakha. And Kaikeyi is not very articulate. She was crude, as you can see, in her persuasive powers. She just used her charms. She just abused her husband's love for her. Whereas Shurpanakha is very articulate and very clever. It is oratory. In fact, Ravana had come with the intention of abduction of Sita, and Maricha stops him, and Ravana goes back to Lanka. It is when the second time that Ravana comes, abduction of Sita takes place. And that happens because of Shurpanakha's intervention. Maricha actually dissuaded Rama from abducting Sita, whereas Shurpanakha convinces Ravana from abducting Sita. That is the power of oratory of Shurpanakha. And then for Kaikeyi, she needs an external instigation of Manthara, whereas for Shurpanaka, she has got a Swanta Buddhi. She cannot forgive Rama's or Lakshmana's jilting her. And therefore she uses the entire Rakshasa machinery single-handedly. And this is the power of Shurpanaki. Kaikeyi, very beautiful. And then as soon as she comes, she asks Rama, who are you? But you know how clever she is? She knew everything about Rama. It was not that she did not know. And Rama also, of course, doesn't give up too much about himself because he is not given to self-praise. So, but then she knew everything. How do we know that? Later on, when she meets Ravana, she tells him, Rama has come to Janasthana to protect the rishis. And he did that by killing our brothers and my nephew. Trishira is Ravana's son. And that is how she instigates. And one Edricha entrance is Manthara, who is an astute politician. And we have Shurpanaki, who is an astute politician. And then something to glean from this is whenever we get an advice for any dramatic change in our lives, we have to be very cautious. And we have to be also aware that when accidental, fortuitous events take place in our life, we must have the future vision of how it can all evolve. That Dura Drishti, this is the two reasons for which our subject today was focusing on Yadricha. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Jai Shri Ram, Ashwat Garu. Thank you so much, Andy. We sincerely appreciate all the details you have provided today. And I'm also sure everybody might have captured a different insight of understanding the Ramayana about these rules from your topic today. So I just want to put my takeaways first before I go to others. So my takeaways from the call are, the first thing that I wanted to learn was whenever we make promises, we have to discard them or reward them right away so that we don't run into troubles in future. And also the other point that I wanted to get better at was whenever taking an advice or counseling from others, we need to definitely be more cautious and also check about the background so that we take a right decision in whatever actions we do. So, and those were my takeaways. So before we go to others, and I wanted to let you know that with Guru Garu's blessings, now you have taken an opportunity and created a leaf in our Kalpavruksham event. So as you know, this is a big plant, and all the Athidi speakers take a leaf as part of this event, and I mean, variety of knowledge from all the Athidis are being added as a leaf into this Kalpavruksham event. So your name will be there on the upcoming Bhadradri Sri Rama temple of the Kalpavruksham tree, and also forever in the Jai Sri Ram website, as we mentioned. All this will be there, and also this is a growing opportunity, and anyone who is still interested to participate, who are all in this call, if you want to participate, this event happens on every third Saturday of the month. So please please email us the details so that we can coordinate. And now who are on this call, if you can please, everybody can come, if you can please come on to the video on so that we can coordinate for questions. Rao Garu, do you want to say anything, Andy?
Jai Shri Ram Andi. Chala santosham andi. Adbhutamaina topic. And as just now Sapna Garu mentioned, this Kalpavruksham event started back in 2021. And today, Meeru, you have taken the wonderful opportunity to reach the milestone of 25th Kalpavruksham event. So today, May event is 25th. So 22, 21, 20 December lo start అయ్యింది. So 25th Kalpavruksham lo Meer ఇవాళ అవకాశం తీసుకోవడం అనేది it's a big coincidence. And always when we say that, we always look bad as something which is not to be reached, but it also depends upon how to look good in bad. So that is something which is very, very important, and you have taught us today. And most importantly, one incident that touched me is every action has a purpose. Like when the train was late and when you were chanting the Rudram, as you were thinking that is how the connection is made between that unknown person and you through that incident. So which we sometimes don't realize it. So we will be only cursing about the train was late, or you were not able to make the journey. But the reason behind it is you have to be connected to that strong devotee who was doing the puja in the form of the priest. So lot of things we sometimes don't know. So these are the things which are good reminders for us. And we really appreciate, Andy, for you to coming and show this blessed opportunity of teaching how to learn good from the bad. Very nice, Andy. Chala santosh. Definitely. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
I see Padma Garu raised the hand. Padma Garu, you want to go ahead, Andy?
Jai Shri Ram. Usually people dare not talk about Manthara or Shurpanaka. I've seen that nobody comes out and says that this is what you can learn from these characters. So for that, kudos to you. That's only Jai Shri Ram. And I was also very much inspired to read, because you've talked about different Ramayanas, and we've been reading Valmiki Ramayanam. So now you have given me sown that seed in me to explore more, and thank you for that. And the last point that I wanted to make was excellent comparison between Kaikeyi and Shurpanaka. That's something that somebody who analyzes can only see that with that kind of a clarity. So absolutely, thank you, Andy.
Thank you. Please do, when you get a chance, please do study the Ramayana Champu. So just to give you again how other poets can see this same events. There is Ashokavana, Sita is there, and Ravana would always come to visit her in the night, because during the day he is busy in conducting his affairs of the state. So then, because it is night, he must be able to see. So he had his servant girls, and they would actually carry torches so that there will be light. And Bhojaraja in the Champu puts it such a beautiful metaphor by saying, Dishi Dishi Parimushtam Yat Tamas Samastam Hridayam Avajagahe Kevalam Ravanasya. So these lamps, these lighted torches, drove away the darkness of the night. So when you drive away something, where does it go and hide? In the Champu, it says, all that darkness went into the heart of Ravana. Dishi Dishi Parimrushtam, the darkness that was there in all the directions. Yat Tamaha Samastam, and he uses the word Tamaha because also to talk about the guna, the Tamo guna, Tamastam, Hridayam Avajagahe Kevalam Ravanasya. The only place it could hide was in the heart of Ravana. See, such metaphors which elucidate the experience of Ramayana. So I do encourage you to read other Ramayanas, even in Telugu also, extraordinary Ramayana. is there. Then we have in every language. And Tulsi Ramayana is another extraordinary composition. So in addition to Valmiki Ramayana, I do recommend studying others also.
Yeah, Vidya garu,
to everyone and Jai Shri Ram and andarki. So we are blessed to have Ashwath garu in our Vruksham today. And one thing what is my taking is Adrucha another exactly we can relate to our mana Bhadradri gani mana respected mana Acharya garu. అర్చకం పద్మనాభాచారి గారు ఈ పరిచయం ఇదంతా లేకపోతే ఈ కల్పవృక్షం ఇన్వైట్ ఇదంతా ఉండేది కాదండి. సో నాకైతే అది అనిపించింది. మనందరం ఎప్పుడు అంటుంటారు కదా గురువు గారు, మనందరం ఒక కుటుంబం, వసుదైక కుటుంబం లాగా. సో బెస్ట్ టు హ్యావ్ యూ ఆల్ హియర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. జై శ్రీరామ్.
జై శ్రీరామ్ అండి విద్య గారు. మృణాలి గారు. ఎస్ అండి.
Jai Shri Ramari, Jai Shri Ram to everybody. This is a really wonderful topic, and especially your analysis was so wonderful. And recently, maybe in the last 5 years or so, there's a lot of non-fiction writing that's coming out and talking about Kaikeyi, talking about, how maybe from her point of view. So there have been a couple of books which I've read in English, just non-fiction, which talks about it. And I really like, and I think what you presented, your analysis of how we are always should practice gratefulness, right? And give our thanks to the Lord in everything that we do. But the way that you've presented how you have to be able to understand how events work in your life, and how wonderful it is that, if you have the hindsight and the knowledge, first of all, to understand what's happening, you are truly blessed. We may not have that knowledge right now to understand, but I really, really liked how you presented how valuable the Ramayana is really, and how it happened because of these events. So I think the way you analyzed that was really beautiful and very important for us to understand and remember. So Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Does anyone else have anything to talk or say? Any questions? Yeah, I think we're good. Rao garu, do you have anything?
Chala santosham andi, and really appreciate all the friends who joined the call today. And it is really a true blessed opportunity to be on this Kalpavruksham call, to learn known factors furthermore and unknown factors really coming to our knowledge. So with that, really we thank Shri Ashwath garu for taking the opportunity today to come forward and share his delighted knowledge, whatever that has been blessed upon him, with all of us. And our Guru Garu's blessings will be always there with each and every participant who is taking this wonderful opportunity. And with that, back to you, Swapna garu.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few messages in the chat who are not able to talk, Ashwath garu. So a few says very interesting subject and presentation, and other suggestions to other Ramayana writings from others is excellent. Scholars already read Valmiki Ramayana and analyzed it so thoroughly and presented in their view. It is helpful to read through those. And then the last message is, thank you, Ashwath ji. Once again, so many simple takeaways for day-to-day implementation. So, I mean, I see one information, one contact details received from Vaishnavi Elementary garu. Yeah, the templates will be sent on how you can write the essay and send back to us, so that the Athidi can review and provide us the feedback. So we'll be taking care of that. And the November and December month details will be shared in January Kalpavruksham event. And I think, thank you very much. We had pretty much around 55 participants today on this call. So we all got got to know about all these simple, hidden treasures that you had shared with us, Ashwath Garu. So thank you so much. Rao Garu, do you want to go ahead and do the closing prayer, Sunday? I don't see anyone has a question.
Yeah, with the blessings from our Guru Garu, let us take the opportunity to do the closing prayer. Om Masato Masatkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirkamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram to everybody.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you. Wish you all the best. I will sign off.